about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Hello everyone, it's the 2-Minute Terminator. I'm Ethan McKinley, and we are back. Today's episode is episode 12, and we're going to discuss minutes 22.
Ethan, I actually can't hear a thing.
That's fine. Yes, as I said, it's the 2-Minute Terminator. It's episode 12, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. That was the intro to Dragnet. I just thought it was a cool intro, and it would drown Ellie out so she couldn't talk over me as I opened the show. We are going from minutes 22 to 24. It starts with Sam Worthington walking into, I guess, a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles skyline. And it ends with a Terminator attacking him. And it ends with a charming little black actress dropping a railway, was it axle, on a T-600 Terminator. Hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger to me.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
And we're back. The background music for today's show is Michael Giacchino's Jurassic World soundtrack, which I started in the wrong place. Ellie, how are you? Our lovely co-host.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I also put my 2 cents in on the Terminator film as well. Yes, I'm well. How are you?
I was going to say but I just drank like half a litre of beetroot juice. Now, this happened last week. Not on the show, but I drank like a litre of beetroot juice and then threw up immediately. That's never happened to me before. So if I suddenly run off the show and you hear... it's not me being killed by a Terminator, it's me vomiting out of the window. I think I need to add something to stop it being raw, because I've been drinking it like raw. I used to like mix it with like celery and things and apples, so I'm trying to like cut down on sugars in my diet.
Celery doesn't have sugar in it.
Huh?
Celery doesn't have sugar in it.
No, but it kind of softens and hides away that kind of like earthy dirt taste of beetroot, which is horrific. And I think that's what's curdling in my stomach. My body's like, what are you doing? I'm not doing this shit. Get a fucking Kit Kat.
I would have thought your body would be
Put
so
a Kit Kat in me. I think, yeah, I would think so too, but hey, I don't know.
Anyway, I've got lots of notes on this particular 2 minutes.
Lovely.
First of all, is the Red Clown toy company an actual toy company?
I don't know, and I couldn't find anything in terms of trivia what that is in reference to, so I don't know.
Okay. Just wondered if it was a real company or not.
All right, do you want to know what I think?
Always.
I think it's a subversive joke that Christian Bale put into the movie to get at McG, who's a red-haired man. Red
Clown Toy Company. Initially, I was wondering why this particular shop was put in this shop, but then later on in the 2 minutes, we discover that that's kind of where Kyle and his little black friend are hiding out quite clearly. So we see Marcus walking through this kind of shanty town, as it were, which was once Los Angeles, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, it's not a shanty town; it's a shanty city.
And we see Marcus look up, and there's like a figure in the distance, and he shouts at it. So I'm guessing at this point he clearly has no idea about Terminators, about who he is or what he is or anything. And then we see this epic fucking battle. Well, it's not so much an epic battle. It's the Terminator kind of just trying to gun Marcus down. But we see the T-600. It sounds like an old dial-up modem, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I love it. I think it's really cool.
Why?
I really like... Huh?
Why? Why?
It just looks amazing.
Which, the old Terminator?
Yeah, the T-600. I think it looks awesome.
I don't know. My issue with this is they didn't really film it properly. It just looks like a dusty robot man. I don't know. I think they could have made I think they could have shot it better so it looked more terrifying and menacing.
I don't know. I really like it because obviously it's not meant to be as advanced. It's meant to be a little bit shit, but.
Well, also, I think
really
my
liked
other
it.
issue is this is silly saying this because they're meant to be imitating humans, but it moves too human. The reason it does that in the shot where it's kind of like walking forwards and recocking its gun after it does the first initial round of firing, it's actually a man in a suit with the green screen bits painted off on him.
Oh wow!
So you can see like bits through it, and they can add in like the cables and the I guess the hydraulic joints and things, but it just looks a bit too human.
Oh no, I really like it. I think
My
the
other
actual design of these.
My other issue with it is it's like a stormtrooper. It's kind of it's shooting for ages to get to him, like it's following its own fire, like tracer fire, to kind of reach Sam Worthington. Wouldn't an advanced robot just be able to put one in his head and go bang, and that's it?
Well, this was actually one of the points I made. It's obviously its aim is atrocious, and it just fires into the landscape, I guess, or the terrain, or whatever you want to call it. And it's almost like in Predator when Mac goes nuts and just blows the whole fucking jungle up. You're just firing into nothing.
I agree, but Mac obviously, I mean, you could argue he's in like a heightened emotional state, so his aim's going to be off, so he's just firing blindly. This is the machine.
Oh, I know, but I thought that was a little bit terrible.
And it will not stop until Sam Worthington is dead. If only Hollywood film producers thought that about his career.
What I didn't get, though, is the fact that Marcus just stands there as the Terminator's shooting at him. He just stands there and stares at it. So the fact that he's even a sitting target was a little bit baffling as to why the Terminator didn't actually deliver a lethal blow.
Yeah, he's not a very good Terminator. I wonder what kind of Terminator is it? Do you think he's like a human brain? Because I know his heart's human. What else is human on him? Because underneath all this, he is a machine. I'm assuming he's all a machine, and this is like
I have no idea.
A facsimile or memory of who he is.
If he was a machine, though, then when he saw the other Terminator, surely he should have known what the other Terminator was. Yeah. And also, something else I wanted to know is, does the Terminator know that Marcus Wright is half Terminator, half human?
Does the Terminator know?
Yeah, does the T-600 know?
Yes,
or
I imagine.
Or does it just see Marcus as a civilian? Also,
that's a good question, because I guess in Terminator Genesis, when the T-800, after approaching the punks, and just again, I will say this again, two of those punks at least are kind of famous working actors. One being Bill Paxton, the other one being Brian. Oh no, what's his name? He looks like a Schwarzenegger-y monkey man. Brian Thompson. He's the other punk. Why couldn't they have got them and de-aged them?
That's a good shout, actually.
But when that T-800 turns around in Terminator Genesis, he looks at Arnold and goes, "I've been waiting for you," and he scans him and he can see he's another Terminator.
Exactly. That's
when they run at each other. So, why would this... I guess you could argue it's the T-600, therefore it's not as advanced. It just sees...
Not as advanced, but the same principles would be in place. I doubt that they made that much of a leap between the T-800 and the T-600.
Yeah, it's like an iPhone 1 and an iPhone 4.
They both do the same things. They're just ever so slightly upgraded, or the camera's ever so slightly better. I don't give a fuck.
You're right, they cocked it up.
But so I was wondering if the T-600 actually knew if Marcus was half Terminator. Also, with Skynet, would Skynet try and... Because again, I can't really remember what happens in this film.
Oh, it's pronounced Skinnet.
That's bollocks, but carry on.
Bullshit Bale and Skinnet.
Oh, God! So... That was a big question that was kind of raised for me. Does the Terminator know? Quite clearly, Marcus doesn't know. Or does he know? Because maybe that's why he didn't move out of the way. Because as soon as the T-600 starts shooting, he just stands there like a deer in the headlights. And then all of a sudden comes crashing in this young boy. Who is this young boy who saves our protagonist? And obviously, it's pretty obvious once we discover that some young boy who can outsmart Terminators and has already set up traps and things like that as kind of like a precursor or whatever. It's pretty obvious that this is going to be Kyle Reese.
Well, it's obvious because they introduce him with him saying, "Come with me if you want to live."
There we go. And I was going to say, a homage to the old films. Another one.
Which, apart from "I'll be back," is the other signature line from this film franchise, isn't it?
It is indeed.
The same way I've got a
So
bad feeling about this is in all the Star Wars films. At least once, maybe twice.
So if you think about it, in the first film, it's Carl Reese that says, "Come with me if you want to live." But then in the second film, it's
Arnold
the
says, "Come with
Terminator.
me if you want to lift."
So where? Do you even lift, bro? Ethan definitely squats. So where do you reckon that crossover of the phrase, like, how do you think that came to transpire?
What, "Come with me if you want to live"? James Cameron wrote it in Terminator 1.
No, you fucking idiot. In Terminator 1, Carl Reese says it. In Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, says it.
Yeah.
So where's that crossover happening?
We've just done an entire season on this. Is it done in Terminator 3?
Yes, it is. So John Connor says it as well. So I'm just confused as to who's passing down this choice phrase.
Well, no, it's not passing down. It's really for the audience at home. I mean, these people, this is all unconnected, I guess, in the movie world or the reality or universe of this film series. It's just done as nods to the fans. So you go, "Oh, yeah, come with me if you want to live." And then you look at the person that you came to the movies with and go, "Oh, yeah," and they just look at you blankly going, "You idiot. Get some more fucking popcorn, you asshole."
Yeah, so that was that next point. Again, I thought the T600 looks really awesome. It's like zombie Terminator apocalypse kind of. Also made me think.
My other issue with the film is they didn't really play that up as well at all. You see a really great shot of the concentration camp, which we'll get to, when it's got the skin on the face with the red glowing eyes and all this, like, the skin's all rotten around the eyes and the mouth because it's obviously been in the field for months or even years, just working under this, like,
fields, working like a black.
No, under this, like, blazing sun and stuff. And it's yeah, you really see them, but I don't know, you could have seen, like, armies of these things. They could have done this kind of, like, nod to zombie movies when you see all these, like, weird, rotten-looking men with, like, glowing eyes running around.
Well, maybe they didn't do it for specifically that reason. Maybe they didn't want it to look like other zombie movies or, like...
No, I know, but I don't know. They could have played up the menace of these characters more. I think shooting this in the day, again, is a mistake, because the whole film is in the day. They could have done this in the dark or at dusk or in the shadows, at least.
But that's
I don't
how
know.
the other films were made, so maybe they wanted to stay away from the traditional Terminator movies, because if you think about it, 1 and 2, they're pretty much all shot at night time.
They are, and I agree with you.
Which makes them better.
But just this Terminator walk around, it just loses so much of its power. Some of the shots they use for it looks really small, and it's actually like 7 or 8 feet tall. And yeah, I don't know. They really could have, like, played up this, like, creepy giant.
On it more, showed more of the actual Terminator. But I think the Terminator looks great. I really like it.
I've included a great shot of it, which is a production kind of piece of footage when they're filming it with its skin on. In the credits of the YouTube version of this show, listeners. If you want to watch the clip as we talk, we replay it over and over and over again on the YouTube channel. So please check that out. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's just a bit of a missed opportunity, I think.
Do you not think so far, kind of all of this, is very kind of Mad Max Fury Road?
That's what they were going for, even though that film wasn't made. But they wanted this Mad Max feel. I understand that. But again, I don't know. I think you could, if I was directing this scene, I think I would have played more of a kind of thing of like, oh, he sees someone walking around in rags over there. He follows him around for a bit. And then when he calls out, I guess the camera pans down, it turns around, and it, like...
I wish there'd been, like, hand-to-hand combat. I reckon that would have been amazing.
Well, no, because they'd all be dead. It's an 8-foot-tall Terminator.
No, not necessarily.
Why?
If the Terminator didn't have that massive, like, Gatling gun or whatever it is, and it was, like, just between the two of them, John Connor seemed to manage long enough. I mean, John ended up shooting the
No, because again, I mean, all right, well, I think this is why the James Cameron Terminator films worked. The Terminator was like this scary movie monster. You were told, like the alien, it was unstoppable. They didn't know what to do to stop it. It was going to keep coming after you. It can appear from anywhere. With this, it's just like, oh, there's a big lumbering robot man coming. I'm going to shout at him, and immediately it starts firing, and we're into an action sequence. And he's just like walking around with his robot walk that the stuntman's doing badly. They could have really had played this thing up, but they were like, he was tracking this guy, going, I wonder where he's going. And then I guess... when he reveals himself, it turns around and takes its hood off, and it's like this rotten face thing with glowing eyes. And he's like, I've just woken up from prison. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It just seems like a missed opportunity. It's just like, hey, oh no, he's a robot.
Sounds like you're describing a ring wraith.
I just think, yeah.
The hooded and the redded eyes.
Yeah, they could have really played up the kind of menace of these characters. I think that's really lost in this. It's just kind of like, it blows its wad too quickly. It's just like, oh.
Two-pump Trump.
Yeah. They really could have teased this out. And like,
for listeners, we can gather that Ethan does not like this 2 minutes.
No, the 2 minutes is fine. As an action piece, it's fine, but it's very surface. It's very workmanlike, the direction, isn't it? There's no kind of like nuance. It's just like, there could be this thing wandering around, just looking round and checking all these
it's looking for human life, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
And quite clearly trying to kill.
You can imagine Sam Worthington following this, what he thinks is a homeless man, looking in doorways, like looking in the wrecks of cars, looking in boots.
Holding a huge, massive gun.
That could have been under all these robes. They could have put like a cape, not a cape, but like a hoodie on it and something. So when like the hoodie comes back, he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
In other words, you want it to be more like Franco Columba in Terminator 1.
No, because this thing,
exactly what happens there.
This thing is already dressed in rags. It's just like they could have like covered the head maybe, and when he actually finally turns around and goes, "Hey," like the hood gets blown back in the wind. Hey. Do you not think it's just like, oh, here's Terminator, the guns are shooting and he's running away?
Yeah, but this is like the first scene that I've watched and I'm just like, yeah, this is awesome.
No, but I'm saying it feels like, oh, it's a big awesome action scene. It's a big silly robot. They really could have made this a tense and terrifying scene.
They could have made it more terrifying, yeah, but
like this, it's shooting a hole in the doorway that they just ran through, and they just drop like a railway axle on it. Sorry, this little kid. And he's just shooting holes in a door.
This scene is more about introducing Kyle as opposed to fighting between the Terminators.
I just think this scene could have gone on. You wouldn't even need this action sequence. They could have just like got out of there some other way. But I just think they really should have played up the tension of what is this person he's following.
What do you think, listeners?
Let
us know.
There's some like random
Give
person.
us your 2 cents.
Remember, he's woken up from a coma as far as he knows. The world's been destroyed. And there's this like weird person in rags, like looking in doorways and searching the place.
He was meant to die.
He doesn't know whether to shout out or say anything, so he has no idea what's going on. He sees someone standing there. I don't know.
I'd be more confused as to I thought I was having a lethal injection, and now I'm walking around the desert willy-nilly.
There's another thing as well. When he says "hey" and it turns round, it's not a reveal of the face of it. It's just the back of its head, and then you just see it shooting at him. So you just think, oh, it's a person. I don't know. It just seems a bit kind of like throwaway.
The sound of it is very mechanical. Like I said, it sounds like one of those old school dial-up modems. Do you know what I think?
Yeah, I just think it's done a bit like flat. The scene is a bit flat. They really could have played up the fear and terrifying nature of these, like even pre-Terminators, which are even more brutal and stupid in a sense. Basically.
We get another homage to original Terminator films, where the T-600 that Ethan hates because it moves too much like a human, it stands on the skull and crushes it. That's
a nod to T2.
Exactly. So I quite like.
Maybe that's how you escape a Terminator. You just like if you have like a
just stamp on his head.
You have a garbage bag full of human skulls, and if you encounter a Terminator, you just empty the bag on the floor, and a bit like bubble wrap, they just can't stop, and they just have to stay and stamp on all these skulls while you run away. You're like, woohoo! Have fun, have at it. I'm out of here. Bye. He's like,
Terminator's equivalent of bubble wrap, basically. We also find, something I've kind of noticed. Why is it that in these films they often get it where all the adults have died and yet the kids seem to be the survivors? They seem to be able to like outsmart everyone. Because it's the same in Aliens, where obviously Newt's the only person that survived, and now we get introduced to Kyle's little friend, who is this little black chick. How old do we think she is, by the way?
About 9 or 10. By the way,
younger than that.
I found a piece of trivia based on the clown thing for this clip, but I don't.
Is it trivia schmivia?
Not really, because I don't think it relates to this film. I think someone's just written this trying to be clever, or they've read into this more. Actually, it's even more of a dodgy piece of like trivial thought than I've came up with, thinking it's a slight at the director McG, calling him a ginger clown. The appearance of the clown mascot for the abandoned toy factory is based on serial killer John Wayne Gacy, who entertained children as Pogo the Clown.
Yeah, but why would they put that in Terminator?
This is my point. I don't know.
That's a huge stab in the dark. I don't agree with that.
That sounds more dodgy than the secret slice at the director that no one seemed to like on this production, especially Christian Bale. Bullshit Bale.
Why didn't you just say, oh, this was a homage to Tim Curry when he played it in whatever? I don't know. That just seems
my point.
Far too far-fetched.
We are in agreement.
Finally, we then get the line of "Come with me if you want to live," which again goes back to the old films. Again, not really said with much conviction. What do we think of the actor that plays Carl Reese?
He doesn't really get a chance to do much in this, but I like him. I think he's good in everything. He plays, like I said, Chekhov in the new Star Trek films. He's the kind of the one. Him and Bones are like the best, closest thing to their characters in them. I think Chris Pine misses as Captain Kirk, and Zachary Quinto, although he looks quite Vulcan-y and cool, he's nowhere near as good as Leonard Nimoy, not by a country mile. So I think the two best things in the new Star Trek franchise are this kid, Anton Yelchin, who was in the Fright Night remake, which Ellie still needs to watch.
No!
And who was the other person? Carl Urban, who plays Bones. So those two are good.
Do you not even like the bit where the Terminator, the T-600, gets hoisted up by its leg or foot in some trap that obviously Kyle and his little friend have concocted somehow? Again, very smart.
I do, but again,
I like the way that it shoots its foot off.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I thought that was really cool. Again, another homage to the old Terminators. When their limbs get stuck in things, they've got no attachments to their hands, feet, arms, or legs.
You might be wrong there, Ellie.
Happily just
You might be wrong there, because in Terminator 2, Arnold, of course, in the line says, "I can't self-terminate." Shouldn't that relate to damaging his own body? Now, I know he cuts his own eye out, but that's so he can see better and continue his job. I'm not sure shooting your foot off would be kind of, I don't know.
Well, no, because he needs to be freed from that trap.
He does, but
to complete its mission.
So
the
why
do anything.
Why would the robot not just shoot the chain off the hook that he's on, as opposed to his foot?
That's a good shout.
Or shoot the cable.
It's because it's a smaller target, I guess, and we've already discovered that he's a terrible aim.
Yeah, but these aren't stormtroopers; these are Terminators.
I know, but it is the 600, so who knows? And I actually quite liked the bit where it collapses to the ground, and then the way it sits up made me think of Michael Myers in Halloween.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think being lassoed in the first place again takes away the character of the Terminator. I don't know. It just seems a bit quick to like, haha, we fooled him already. Oh, we shot his foot off. Then we dropped a railway on his head.
By two kids.
Yeah. There should be some
kids outsmarting the Terminator. But again, the T-600, it was a lot more basic, so we don't know what it's. I know, but have we even seen T-600 Vision yet? I don't think we have.
No, we haven't. But again, as I've said before, which I keep banging on about, sorry listeners, is like, you've got a brand new character here. You've got a new spin on a Terminator. This is your chance as a kind of film director and a production company to you've created new characters. You've gone one step with Stan Winston Studios. They've developed this new T-600, the thing that always was talked about, this like rubber skin thing. And he just seems to be outwitted really quickly when you could have had a really nice action sequence full of like fear and tension of like, oh my God, all the Terminators should be portrayed in a sense that you don't know how to kill them. They're unstoppable. There's no real way of stopping a Terminator. If you cut one in half, it will just keep crawling after you. If you crush it, it's going to keep coming. And even if its little finger was left, it would still find a way of trying to get to you.
Sorry.
It absolutely will not stop until you are dead.
In that sentence is amazing. I do agree, but I think the last two films that we've looked at, so 3 and now this one, although actually it was a lot more epic between Bullshit Bale and the T-600.
Yeah.
He was a lot scarier.
Yeah.
But I quite like them. I really do.
I just think the scenes are miss. It's just yeah.
And how do we feel about this little girl that's been brought into it? I think it's utterly ridiculous, but you know I would.
It reminds me a little bit of when they did RoboCop 3 and they tried to make it more family friendly and
God.
PG. One of the first examples, actually, of a film that started off as an 18 hardcore, brutal satire with ultra violence, and even now RoboCop is ultra violent. If you've not seen the director's cut, you can get it on DVD.
Oh God, it's like 10 minutes when poor bloody RoboCop gets it's so bad.
By the time they got to RoboCop 3, they were trying to make it more family friendly and stuff, and they put like a little kid who was a computer hacker in it. It reminds me a little bit of that, and it's just like they're trying to widen their audience. Well, like we said in the previous episode when we started on episode 1, this was the first Terminator film that was, I think, PG-13, or that might be 3. Disregard what I say. But,
no, I think 3 was 12.
No, but in America, but that's our equivalent in England is a 12.
Oh, okay, so they have PG. Oh, okay.
Or what? You know what? We've got 12A now, so there's 12, 12A. They've got PG, PG-13. But it's just they're trying to make. I don't know. It's a bit more action adventure-y, isn't it? It's the kind of way they're trying to turn Alien. It went from like this horror suspense film into this kind of like stupid Euro trash weird. The aliens aren't depicted as threatening or clever. They're just rubbish. Like Alien Resurrection, the French directors.
The fourth one.
Yeah, that's terrible.
See, I disagree with you on that. But it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it.
All right.
I liked the fact that Ripley was kind of half alien and half human.
But another franchise connected to Cameron. The first two are great. Arguably, the second one is better than the first, just like Terminator. By the time you get to the third, which is a bit misguided, the fourth one just makes no sense. The newborn.
Oh my God! I found out that there's like loads of different endings to the third Alien film.
And what are those 3 endings? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't realise. Well, one of them, where they have.
I think there's 2 endings.
There's one. Basically, it's like a differentiation in the origin of the dog alien, because one of them comes out of a dog.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's
comes
not
out of a cow.
Yeah, there's one comes out of an ox.
Yeah.
And then when they like started filming, they were going, "What's the alien going to be like? This big fat cow with udders?" We just need, and then they like they reshot it with a dog, basically.
So they asked Dawn French to do it.
Yeah. But if you watch the work print, which is in the Alien Quadrilogy Blu-ray box set, and it was DVD originally as well, but the work print, the director's cut, even though David Fincher wants nothing to do with it because he's treated so badly by the studio, that version of that, which is longer, and it shows the prison planet at the start and what they do, and Charles Dance finding Ripley, and I think it's Charles Dance running into the infirmary with her.
Yeah.
Carrying her in his arms and stuff. That's like longer, and it does come out of an ox in that one. And you actually have a good look at the Queen face hugger with all that kind of like see-through webbing in between its fingers.
Oh wow!
So it's
I'll have to watch that.
And then they trap it in this room, and then Paul McGann, who's like that psychotic kind of religious nut person, lets it out because he thinks it's meant to be there. It's like prophesized and stuff. And then it kills him. So it's much better.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to watch that.
But yeah, that's a masterpiece compared to Alien Resurrection, which is like this weird Euro kind of weird comedy thing with loads of like European actors in it. Not that there's anything wrong with European actors. There's been European actors in all the Alien films. But it's just weird. It's just like trying to be weird for weird's sake. It's like the color palette's brown and gold, which is an alien. The aliens are brown. The design is terrible. They went from these like biomechanoid insect monsters. Huh?
The aliens were brown in 3.
He is. That's my issue with the Alien 3 and 4 design, because Stan Winston, I think... they did it. I think it was Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff who worked under Stan Winston, but they turned them into these kind of like weird lizardy type things.
I think the first design was still the best.
The first one looks like this zombie skeleton machine combined.
It looks amazing.
And yeah, they didn't need to change that.
Such a beautiful piece of kit.
Cameron altered it slightly in the second one when he took that kind of like shell off the top of the head because he thought it would crack, and there was no real good way of making domes back then if they were going to be like jumping around. Yes?
Do we have any cock-ups?
We have no... all I've done the entire episode is tear down this scene. I think the entire scene is a directorial cock-up of sorts. But there's no actual glaring cock-ups. Having said that, in the next... Oh, there we go, my other catchphrase. In the next episode, I might find cock-ups from this scene that I've put into the wrong scene, so... Tune in next time
trope.
for more fun on the 2-minute next month's Cock Up Terminator.
Way! But yeah, no, that's all the notes I had on that one.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, I'm done.
Good. Well, we shall return, obviously, tomorrow with a new episode. We're at episode 13. Oh, unlucky 13. And
Hasta la vista.
we shall see you then. Hasta la vista, baby.
Baby. Yes, I got it first.
No, you didn't.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene.
Shut the fuck up, would you? Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
And I ain't walking on this set if you're still hired.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
I'm fucking serious.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene. What don't you fucking understand? 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 Oh, fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Oh, fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Oh, fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Oh, fucking kick your fucking head. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.